Nicki Minaj is spreading U.S. propaganda for the Trump administration, and I want to talk about it. So, a couple weeks ago, Nicki Minaj addressed the United Nations, where she falsely claimed that Nigerian Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, despite the fact that the Nigerian government and majority of Nigerians have condemned this, mainly because these armed militias and groups are not just killing Nigerian Christians, they're killing all different types of communities across West Africa, with majority of their victims being Nigerian Muslims. So why is Nicki Minaj, Americans and Europeans, and the Trump administration pushing this propaganda? Why are they pushing this narrative? First of all, Americans and Europeans do not understand geopolitical issues, and I consistently see them reduce geopolitical issues into humanitarian issues. And that's incredibly dangerous, but it works to the benefit of the US government. So what the US government will do is they'll overexploit issues that are happening domestically in countries like Iraq or Afghanistan. And they'll say, oh my God, look how those men are treating their women. And they'll constantly push it in the media, so much to the point that the US population will be like, you know what? You have secured our permission. Please go and invade that country and save those people. That is the Christian way. And that is the story of US imperialism. And that is exactly what is happening right now in Nigeria. In the last 2 decades, Nigeria and many countries in Africa have weaned off of their dependence on the US and began to strengthen relations with China. In fact, China has emerged as Africa's largest trading partner, and this obviously threatens America's power and hold over the African continent, because historically, the US and Europe could just back any African nation into a corner. But now that these African nations have China have their back, they have the mobility to negotiate. And Nigeria is especially important to the US because, one, it holds the largest economy in Africa. It has a huge consumer market of over 200 million people. It is a regional security anchor in West Africa. It is a major oil and gas producer. And it is one of the biggest democracies in Africa. The bottom line is that America and Europe have always seen the importance of Nigeria, which is why I encourage you to do some research as to who is funding these militia groups that are attacking communities across West Africa. I also want to state that Trump has threatened to have US troops in Nigeria. And I want to ask you, do you think that that's the best thing for Nigerians? Do you think any good will come out of having US troops in Nigeria? No, because this is about money, power, occupation, and the stealing of resources. So be mindful of the propaganda you are spreading.